It's a new year. That means we have a new set of comic book movies. So today I'm going to stop and rank 2024's comic book movies based on my excitement for them. Hi, my name is Sean, and I love to talk about movies and TV way too much. With that in mind, go ahead and join me down below in the comment section. Share your ranking of 2024's comic book movies based on your excitement level. You might have noticed I'm in a different location. I'm actually currently in Burbank. I'm in the Los Angeles area for an awards show this weekend, and I'm actually going to be hosting my own live event Friday night. So if you're in the Los Angeles area, I would love to meet you. I'm doing a live video recording of my most anticipated movies of 2024, as well as a podcast with my friends Griffin Schiller, Zach Pope, talking about what didn't work about last year's movies and what we're excited about for this year's movies. So if you're in the area, love to meet you. Come out, be a part of the live recording. I've never done an event like this before, so I don't even know what to expect. Hopefully a bunch of you will come out to see it. But also right now, I'm talking at a different volume level because I'm in a hotel room and don't want people to complain about me. Without further delay though, let's get started. In last place, Madam Web. This is the latest Sony Spider-Man spinoff without Spider-Man, where we take Spider-Man villains, Spider-Man side characters, and we spin them off into protagonists without featuring Spider-Man. And inherently it comes off very cynical. I mean, it's literally the Spelunk or whatever it's called. It's the Spider-Man universe, and it doesn't involve Spider-Man yet. Like, that's just mind-blowing that that's a thing. And doing one for Madam Web in particular seems so far detached from anything reasonable. It feels like Sony just going to the well too many times, trying to make as much money as they can out of the Spider-Man name. And all of these movies feel like they should have come out 15, 20 years ago. They feel dated. The trailer feels like it's like maybe there's almost an interesting idea in there where it's like Final Destination combined with a superhero movie, but it feels like the very generic version of that. Maybe we'll be wrong. Maybe it'll be the good version of that, where there's something fresh and new to do with the comic book movie genre. But when you're presenting it as Spider-Man spinoff without Spider-Man, it just feels creatively bankrupt. 6, Kraven the Hunter. Copy and paste what I said about the last one, place it right here. Here we're taking, once again, a Spider-Man villain and making him the protagonist in a movie without Spider-Man. I don't think it's a good idea. I think it is inherently very cynical to treat your characters like this, and like, instead of the idea of having a great story to tell being the driving factor, instead being like, well, we've got the Spider-Man characters, so let's spin them all off into their own individual film. Like, that's just, it's so frustrating when they take something that means so much to so many of us and just treat it as a way to pull money out of us. It's frustrating. Like, looking at the trailer, you know, I like the actor here. I like that Russell Crowe seems like he's having fun. It's the sort of movie that I enjoy. So, like, maybe it edges out my interest above Madam Web. Madam Web seems maybe a bit more interesting with what seeing the future stuff means, but on just a genre level, this one seems a little bit more my thing, but both of them are just like, why are we doing this? 5, Old Guard 2, pretty big gap between the bottom two in this one. The first Old Guard, I enjoyed enough when it came out, had fun watching. I was like, oh, that's pretty fun. Okay, nice little action film. I guess it's based off a comic book. Didn't know, but pretty cool. And haven't really thought about it since. And so the idea of a sequel, I assume I would have the same experience. Like, it'll be fun enough while I watch it, but it'll leave my mind as soon as the credits start rolling, as so many streaming movies do. They're designed to be highly digestible and highly forgettable. I'm assuming the same of this film. Since it's not exploiting Spider-Man stuff, I feel like there's a little bit more artistic integrity here. I'm not as jaded towards it. So it's kind of like, yeah, it'll be a passing streaming film for a weekend. 4, The Crow. This reboot, remake of The Crow has been in development for forever. There have been so many different versions of this, so many different directors, so many different actors attached to it, that it's hard for me to believe this is actually going to come out. But while doing my research, apparently they actually shot it back in 2022, so it's pretty likely that it will actually come out this year. I'm not like a huge Crow fan. The Crow has always been one of those movies like that I feel like I should enjoy more than I actually do. But don't have any specific issues with it. Full respect to it. Just for whatever reason, never was one that I got into the way a lot of other people have gotten into it, and not as much into it as other people think I would be into it. But I'm totally open to a new version of it. And in particular, when the comic book genre is a little bit stale, if we can add a little bit of goth into it, hey, I'm all for it. Real quick before I give you my top 3, be sure to share your ranking down below in the comment section. Which ones are you most excited for? Also, remember, if you're in the LA area, I'm doing a live event this Friday. I would love to meet you. We're also doing a live recording of a video, and I'll probably ask people in the audience for their opinions so you can be a part of the video. Hopefully it'll be a cool experience. If you're anywhere in California, come on out to it. I have no idea what to expect. Hopefully it'll be amazing. In third, Venom 3. I've actually come around quite a bit on the Venom films. Whenever the first one came out, like, I had fun with it, but its many plot issues, structural issues were very prominent on my mind in my initial review. And then I felt like it was one that I still kept going back to and had fun with it. And then I had even more fun with the second one in its own ways. And so I kind of like just fully came around on the Venom films. Like, I'm just excited for another one. They're silly, they're goofy, but not every comic book movie needs to be big, sweeping, epic, dramatic. Sometimes let Tom Hardy be very silly, over the top, crazy, and have this very odd bromance thing in there. Runner-up, Joker, Folie à Deux. Now, I was a big fan of the first Joker and thought that it brought something fresh, new, and different to a genre that has a lot of movies that can feel similar or be in the same ballpark. They're all trying to be big, sweeping epics, 4-quadrant films. And then out of the blue, you get a Joker film that is heavily, heavily, heavily inspired by Martin Scorsese films. It's something different. It's a totally different genre. And so I appreciated that. I thought it worked, and I thought it was a good character study. I have no idea how you make a sequel to that film. And I have no idea what it means that it's a musical. No clue what that means. No clue where they're going with this thing. But I'm interested. I'm curious as to what that will mean, as to what that will look like. So it's one of those ones where this thing could be a disaster. Todd Phillips' track record with sequels, not good. But I'm willing to give him a chance. It's borrowed trust. It could be a mess. I'm willing to see what happens. But in first, Deadpool 3. The only MCU film this year, but MCU in a wildly different sense. Like, technically Marvel Studios, technically MCU, but obviously it's Deadpool from the Fox X-Men universe. Also Deadpool, rated R, and a team up with Wolverine from Fox X-Men. So it's Marvel Studios, but not Marvel Studios also at the same time. It's MCU, but not MCU at the same time. And so that's very interesting. There's a ton of reasons, all the obvious reasons why I'm so excited for this movie. Enjoyed the first 2 Deadpool films. Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. So excited. First MCU film that's rated R. At the same time, there's a lot of ways this can go very wrong. Logan was such a great send-off for Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. I don't want to mess that up. With all the rumored cameos, I don't want this to just be like firing off cameos. There's a lot of things I'm concerned about with this one. And like, I know they say it's rated R, but what does that mean coming from Disney? I just don't know. So I've got questions. I'm on its side. It's number 1, but this year is a year where even my top ones I'm most excited for, they're more like, man, I'm really excited for that, but boy, could that go really wrong. There's a lot of room for that one to disappoint me. Where most years, my ones I'm most excited for, I'm just really excited for them. So it's going to be an interesting year for comic book movies because you look at this list of films, it's quite different from the past 12, 13 years of movies where Disney MCU so dominated, and now you have one MCU film and it's very Fox heavy. What does that mean? What will that look like? I don't know, but I'm curious to find out. Be sure to let me know your ranking down below in the comments section. If you're in LA, if you're in California, if you're on planet Earth, I'd love to meet you this Friday. Details are down below in the description about my event, free parking, free everything, live recording, meet and greet, all that fun stuff. And keep talking movies and TV too much in 2024.